Greetings in the name of the Most High Jah Rastafari. This is the girl Jen, Sister Jenny, Auntie Jenny. And if you want to get formal as Miss Jennifer Frederick, another edition of Levy Talk, the Ting Unfiltered. People, today is Friday. The week is over. The month almost finished. By next week, by weekend, it's finished. We into July just now, August vacation, emancipation, Independence Day, Republic Day. I think Diwali, if I'm not mistaken, Christmas, listen, the year just started a little while ago. Just about 2 days ago was Carnival. Look where we are right now. Time and tide waits on no one, but I just wait on my pizza. I want to thank all those who would log in, and be a part of the show. Today's Friday. People just come back and we have to talk. But we have a program here, so we started right. The National Pledge.
I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of my God and my country. I will honor my parents, my teachers, my leaders, and my elders, and those in authority. I will be clean and honest in all my thoughts, my words, and my deeds. I will strive in everything I do to work together with my fellow men of every creed and race for the greater happiness of all and the honor and glory of my country.
And we must have the first people's greetings. Peoples. And today, people, today is Director's brother birthday. I can't remember his name, but Director's brother birthday. Happy and strong to you, and hope you live to see many, many more. And all those who are locked on to where we talk the thing and Bounce Up Central, you're part of the family and you're having a birthday today, or anybody in the family having a birthday today, we send and shout out to them, and you know we true, because that's why as well give a little to one thing, right? So happy and strong to Directors, brother, and all those who are celebrating the Earth Strong today.
Here we go, Travis. Feeling to sing. I feeling to sing. I feeling to sing. I feeling to sing. Sing happy birthday to you. Sing happy birthday to you. Sing happy birthday. Sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to. One more time, let me go. Sing happy birthday to. Oh my God! Happy birthday to you. Sing happy birthday. Sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Yes, happy is strong there. Again, you know we always have some good news, whether historical news. There's always something to make you think, say, or say, hey, I didn't even know that. So let me see what I have here today. So this here is General Francisco de Marina. And he was one of those persons who had the son. You know, I like I get brain freeze. I clean forget. I'll come back to the general. Don't worry all yourself. I know I should nothing on it, you know. Don't worry all yourself. You know these things that happen. All this is a part of the show. So watch out this one by the time I get back the article with the general here. Listen to this one.
The reason your food doesn't rot and your medicine stays cold isn't a miracle of white industry. It's the genius of a black orphan with a 6th grade education who outthought the entire world for $6. This is the unfiltered truth about Frederick McKinley Jones. Born in 1893 and orphaned by age 9, Jones was a man the system wanted to be invisible. He dropped out of school in the 6th grade, but while the world saw a laborer, Jones saw a puzzle. He taught himself physics. No, he taught himself mechanics. He taught himself electrical engineering while working in a garage. The turning point came in 1938. His boss made a $6 bet that Jones couldn't find a way to stop meat from rotting on long truck hauls. At the time, they were using ice, which melted and ruined everything. Jones didn't just win the bet, he changed the biology of the human race. He went to the library, studied refrigeration science for 30 days, and built the world's first successful mobile refrigeration unit. That invention became Thermo King. Before him, you ate what was in your backyard. After him, you could have fresh fruit in the winter. He literally created the modern supermarket and the global food chain. But it wasn't just about groceries. During World War II, his portable cooling units were shipped to the front lines. They were used to preserve life-saving blood plasma and medicine. Thousands of Allied soldiers are alive today because a black man with a 6th grade education knew how to keep things cool. The unfiltered reality? Jones held over 60 patents, from portable X-ray machines to cinema sound equipment. Yet he was a man who was often barred from racing the very cars he engineered because of his skin color. He was the king of cool in a country that was still trying to keep him in the heat of Jim Crow. He was the first African American to receive the National Medal of Technology, but most people can't name him. We know the name of the man who made the light bulb, but we don't know the man who kept us from starving. I want to hear from you in the comments. Is the reason we don't know Frederick McKinley Jones's name because his genius proves that formal education isn't the only way to build a world? Or is it because the system is terrified to admit how much of the modern world was built by an orphan they tried to ignore? Comment Frederick Cool to honor the king. Share this to melt the lies in the history books. Hit that follow button and stay tuned to Black History Unfiltered. We don't just tell the past, we show you the geniuses who built the future.
All right. So every time you open your fridge and think cold and nice, remember the name, Cedric. So let me put back this general here. General Francisco de Marina, he was born in Caracas in the Viceroyalty of New Granada into a wealthy family. Miranda left to pursue an education in Madrid in 1771 and subsequently enlisted in the Spanish army. In 1780, following Spain's entry into the American Revolutionary War, He was sent to Cuba and fought the British at Pensacola. Accused of espionage and smuggling, he fled to the United States in 1789. Miranda returned to Europe in 1785 and traveled through the continent, gradually formulating his plan for Spanish-American independence. From 1791 on, he took an active part in the French Revolution, serving as a general during the Battle of Valmy and the Flanders Campaign. An associate of the Girondins, he became disillusioned by the revolution and was forced to leave for Britain. In 1806, Miranda launched an unsuccessful expedition to liberate Venezuela with volunteers from the United States. He returned to Caracas following the outbreak of the Venezuelan War of Independence, and in 1810 was granted dictatorial powers after the establishment of the First Republic. In 1812, the Republic collapsed and Miranda was forced to finalize an armistice with Spanish royalties. Other revolutionary leaders, including Simon Bolivar, considered his capitulation treasonous and allowed his arrest by the Spanish authorities. He was taken to a prison in Cadiz, where he died 4 years later. So that is about a revolutionary who think didn't go too well for not far from us. And while we are at it, I want to say to the people of Venezuela that you are in our prayer, and we hope that you all get the help you all need, and that the death toll from that devastating earthquake does not go into thousands and thousands of lives. We know you all have been through a lot. You are resilient people. And I know that this too is something that you all will pull together as a nation and will stand up. And I know the rest of the world, I am sure, is willing to give humanitarian aid to Venezuela. I'm seeing here the Prime Minister Kamala Harris has pledged Trinidad and Tobago support to earthquake-ravaged Venezuela, saying the government stands ready to provide humanitarian assistance as the neighboring country grapples with widespread devastation. I just want to ask whether she called President Delcy Rodriguez and had a conversation, or she talked to anybody in Caracas, or she just talking like that. Because I think Mia Motley, the Prime Minister of Barbados, would have reached out and would have spoken, if I'm not mistaken, to the President of Venezuela, Ms. Delcy Rodriguez. But then again, you know, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago is persona non grata, so I don't know. But we would see. Time, longer than time. I'm seeing here that Stuart Richard Young, SC, he put a post, he said, my thoughts and prayers are with the people of Venezuela at this time as they assess and deal with the devastation of the earthquake yesterday. Venezuela is our closest neighbor, and we have a deep history over centuries. May God bless Venezuela at this difficult time. It was about 7:24 a.m., June 25th, 2026. Yeah, so that's a message here coming from Member of Parliament, Political North Centre and West, and former Minister of Energy, former Prime Minister Stuart Richard Young, sending his love to the people of Venezuela at this very, very critical time. So let me continue. Look at this. Just a minute. Okay.
You have my full attention. You giving me a ride of my life without you. I knew when I lost and found on this journey. crisis come.
Wafikelele shishi look
Right, so that's some Kenyan fashion using crochet. Find it beautiful. My only thing is be imagine having a crochet dress, right? And rain fall and wet you. Me ain't know how you're doing that because you know that was kind of cool. But these fashions were real beautiful coming out of Kenya. Kenya and Africa are real fashions, you know. Look at some hairstyles now. Now, if you realize the black and white stills, pictures, how our ancestors wore their hair, and it is replicated in modern time. Beautiful, just beautiful. And I'm sure there's a meaning to all those different hairstyles. Just as the cane, we used to be like a road map when the runaway enslaved persons, that used to guide them where they're going. They follow that the way the hair is combed. And also they used to put seeds and stuff in the hair so that when they feel hungry, that they'll be able to eat it and nourish them. So our hair has always been beautiful. Our hair has always sent a message. Our hair is energy, it is life. That's why that's cool and come back down. Listen, love yourself. I encourage all people to love themselves. Look at this one. The Congo football team, they shut down the whole place of their fashion. This viral now. They're not easy. Like that is where there's going to have to look for fashion, fashion runway now when the World Cup, to see the different designs of the outfits of the different teams. Watch this.
Maman dit travail, le sait bien mieux qu'être mal accompagné, pas vrai?
Où est ton papa? Dis-moi où est ton papa? S'emmène devant
Watchman and the bags too. The bags too, you know, they're not easy. I saw this pic and it's so beautiful. These ladies are still so beautiful. It's a table book that puts our three queens, the first Black Miss Universe and from Trinidad and Tobago, Miss Penny General Commission. And we have our beautiful Miss World, second Miss World, Miss Wendy Fitzwilliam, that engaging smile and laugh always, and the serene smile of Miss Giselle Ron, who was our first only Miss World. Beautiful ladies there, and they are being put into a book now, so they'll be all over the world. Not as if they weren't there before, but it's so beautiful to see them. The black and white picture is just gorgeous. Let me see what we have again. We have, listen to this.
Yeah, 1880, I think, around that period. In that same period, we had the Hussey riots because the Indians who were brought to cultivate the land under conditions of indentureship, they would come to Trinidad and they would be assigned to an estate. And the British, as they have done in many other countries, they practice an official policy of divide and rule. Now, remember, by the time the Indians came, Africans had been emancipated, quote unquote, emancipated. To make sure that the Indians were not influenced by the Africans, you weren't allowed to leave the plantation, the estate, without approval of the owner. And so everyone was given a pass, and they would check you that you were there, and if were you running away and, getting together with Africans. So if we have a legacy today of ignorance of each other's cultures and hostility that people can't understand even where they got it, you trace it right back to that British policy.
If you didn't know, now you know. And that may account for the racial tensions we have between the two races, and it's more amplified when the UNC is in office. Let the conversation for race relations start. I want to be a part of that. Look at this also. This is fascinating this year.
This woman throws old t-shirts into a machine that shreds them into tiny pieces, mixes them with natural glue, and presses them into colorful bricks. These bricks can be used in all kinds of ways. Her name is Clarice Merle, and she founded a startup called Fab Brick. Their process is pretty simple. They collect discarded clothes from donation bins or local brands, shred them, mix the fibers with eco-friendly glue, pour the mix into molds, and hand press each brick. The bricks are then air-dried for about 2 weeks. What's interesting is that the fabric's original colors are preserved, no dyes needed. The bricks can be used in interior design and actually have great thermal and sound insulation properties. Every year, Europe alone sends millions of tons of textile waste to Africa and Asia, where it's often not recycled, but simply buried. Fabric has already recycled over 12 tons of textiles and produced more than 40,000 bricks. What do you think of this idea? Share your thoughts in the comments and follow for more.
It's so innovative we are as a people, taking old fabric and making it into bricks. So that will help with the ecosystem. So that's some beautiful news. First time I've ever seen that. I saw this, and there's a reason why I'm putting it up, because I saw somebody put up a picture of one of the President Medal winners. I think this young lady in the white, and then put a picture of Alyssa Phillip below with police, something as if to say, while the person in white, who clearly sees of Indian descent because they had the name, is doing well with work and going off to study and all that, the African child with police and that. And I felt that to be so distasteful and so dishonest, because children of African descent have always been doing well, where the President Medal is concerned, and other academic achievements and all that, but it's not really featured much. They more put, and it's a fact, they more put the child of Indian descent to the forefront. You remember the whole bacchanal with the child who he had gotten the award, but they give it to another child of another ethnic group, and then the family found out on it, and they just give two of them, to pacify the situation or whatever it was. But the point I'm making is this: our children have always been doing well academically, but it is not really carried anywhere much. So we need to start to carry it and show that we're just as good as anybody else, we equal like anybody else, we intelligent just like anybody else. And while we playing pan, Indian children playing pan the same way, and different races playing pan the same way. So that is foolish talk. So what we have here is recipients of the President Medal for Cape 2025 in core subject areas, and Elizabeth Singh is a young lady in white from Naparima Girls High School, Environmental Studies, Information Communication and Technology, Mathematics and Natural Science, and Alea Serret from Bishop Anstey High School East and Trinity College East Business Students, so Creative and Performance Studies, General Studies, Language Studies, Modern Studies, Humanities and Technical Studies. Both of them, congratulations. They were also other medal winners. Congratulations to all of them. They are all our children. This young lady here, she's of the Yale School. She was having some challenges to get money to go on and stuff. I really didn't get her name, and it's my bad, but she's a past San Fernando SJC. I wonder if that's San Fernando, the son. Please forgive me. Anyway, people will know this story. I guess the parents and they were looking to get some help so they could send her so that she can go to Yale and do, I don't know if it's an internship or a program, whatever it was. And I understand that MP Brian Manning would have, I saw something to that effect, would have extend $10,000 so to help in her quest. So I guess she has gone out there. So thank you, MP Manning, and congratulations again to the young lady. As I said before, our children are also doing well, but somehow it don't get the highlight, excuse me, for one reason or not, or the other, in the media. But once we get it and we know, we will highlight it. I'm also seeing this is, let me see, where is this? In basketball. Let me get that quickly. Hi to all those who are locked on. Hi, Andrew from out in the UK. Who we have here? Give me a minute. You know, they all up in basketball, Papa. This here is Malik Lewis. He's a draft pick, or I don't know what else call it, for Milwaukee basketball. He is at pick number 60. It says here 6'8". Lewis had a late start to basketball, ultimately moving to Spain at age 16 to join Fuenlabrada in Liga ACB. From there, the Trinidad and Tobago natives spent the 2023-24 season with the Mexico City Capitanes in the G League before moving to Australia to enter the NBL Next Star program. Playing for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, he averaged 7.3 points, 4.4 rebounds, 2.0 assists, and 1.1 steals per game this season. Having improved as a shooter, Lewis' athleticism and defensive versatility are his calling card at this stage in his career. So, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix next star Malik Lewis has been selected with pick 60 at the NBA draft, right? The Trinidad and Tobago talent rose sharply in draft projection this week, fulfilling his NBA dream by joining the Milwaukee's Bucks with the final pick at the draft. Lewis, 21, played for the Phoenix for 2 years, averaging 6.9. This is another team, 4.3 rebounds and 1.2 steals. And a game across the Hungry Jacks NBL 26 season. He becomes the 13th NBL next star drafted directly to the NBA. So congratulations to the Trinidadians always. Listen now, we always there, you know. We always there. We in everything. Look at this. This one also. We need plenty good news. We need the good news. So bear with me. We need the good news. That here now, this was in 2021 because people was asking if with Lois, if it's the first time a Trinidad and Tobago in basketball players ever been drafted. So apparently, that gentleman there with the Hawks jersey on 24, Trinidad and Tobago born Atlanta Hawks basketball player Johnny Hamilton, pictured here with Bogdan. Watch these people named Bogdanovich on NBA media will be the proud addition to the team when the NBA preseason starts on October 3rd. What a round of applause. See what? 7 foot tall. How we guys? Hey, from Rio Claro, right? So we have the peoples out there and doing it well. So let me continue. Congratulations. I hope he's doing well. I'm not all up into basketball, so I can't tell all this. Are we playing and here playing, right? Or they go and find out for themselves. So let me continue. I saw this. The people tell me to make no advertisement, but I find this is so cute, and everybody, you could think of ways to make a little extra and make your customers come, especially in these times. Look at this.
Pyramids out here making your daily life easier. Customer place an order for 20 chickens, KFC cut, washed and seasoned by the Pyramids. Proper thing.
I remember a time I went to the market to buy bhaji. Me and I to cut up bhaji. I tell her, cut it up for me now. You know, she tell me I'm lazy. So you can't cut up that Miss Lady, you're lazy. I say, you feel a lady, cut it up for free. I will pay for it. Cut it up and that'll be a scene. And I paid, she cut it up and think I was going to walk over, but I say, you know what, let me buy it. And she cut it up and then I put it in the bag. It was easy for me. You think it's easy to clean bhaji? Because I just cut up my bush and I just clean my bhaji, cut it up and put it. I don't wash it. Because if you only wet that, they're going to spoil. Put it in plastic bag, cut up my pak choy, cut up my callaloo bush, cut up my pumpkin, all that, I just wash and put in the deep freeze. And when I'm ready to use them thing, I take it out. It don't be in the deep freeze. It'll be normal part of the fridge. I wash and sanitize and whatever. It doesn't last very long in the fridge. So yeah. So you can do all that. Market people can do them thing, cut up them thing and put it in bag and charge a little extra, man. You think everybody has time to go, mommy, cutting them thing, all their hand getting dirty up with the damn iron from the callaloo bush and thing. They're not lazy. It's just reach an age when you feel for all our work. Anyway, let me continue. So I'm also seeing there's too much, you know. It's too much. It's too much. Listen, I saw Miss Alyssa Phillip having a good time with her family. I hope it's really recent. She deserves it. And I felt so happy just watching her being so happy. Only take a look and enjoy with her.
I am on vacation in Tobago with my dad's side of the family, and right now the question is, who is the most crackhead? And I promise all you, it's not me. So let me go and find out. Jerome, who is the most crackhead in the family?
Auntie don't know.
You mean your mother?
Yeah.
Auntie, your son say that you is the most crackhead in the family.
Why do you say that?
Who do you think is the most crackhead?
I really don't know. Crack, like cocaine? We have a little bit of it.
Roshi.
I want to go in my bed and she wants to make video.
Who is the most crackhead in the family?
Oh my gosh.
After that performance, I think it's you.
No, not me. It's definitely Miguel and Dennis. Them eggs get shake up.
Kira, who's the most crackhead in the family?
Uncle Miguel.
She said something to her. Baby, who's the most crackhead in the family?
Miguel O'Donnell.
Auntie Pepe, who's the most crackhead in the family?
Agreed, Miguel O'Donnell.
Uncle Ralston, who you think is the most crackhead in the family?
Bruno.
Daddy, Uncle Miguel? Elijah, who is the most crackhead in the family?
Daddy and Auntie Donna.
Daddy. Who is the most crackhead in the family?
Donna.
So it's not you, because some people saying it's Donna and some people saying it's you.
No, it's Donna, it's Donna. Donna ain't business. Donna ain't Kia. Donna ain't Kia. Certain days I go Kia and I go hold back and have a little shame. Donna have no shame at all.
A few moments later.
Yes, I hear. Close on, close on. Right. Oh, God. I can take a nap.
Oh, we. Who is the most crackhead in the family?
Good Miguel.
Ray. Who is the most crackhead in the family?
Auntie Donna.
So not Daddy, not Uncle Miguel.
He is second. Close second.
That's the same thing I said. George.
Right.
So you're new to the family since you're married, Rayat, right?
Yes.
So far, who you think is the most crackhead in the family? Just answer. They wouldn't beat you up. No, tell me no.
Tomorrow for sure. Eventually.
Right, Georgia, come back for you. Who is the most crackhead in the family, Daddy? You was afraid to say that? Son, man. Auntie Fee, who is the most crackhead in the family?
Donna.
Honey,
Yeah, darling.
I have a question to ask you, right? Who is the most crackhead in the family?
Crackhead?
Yeah, like who is the craziest?
Who's the most crackhead?
Who's the craziest in the children I eat?
Or your grandchildren or whoever?
Donna.
Daddy and Daddy. If Granny said Donna, then it's Donna.
We're thinking we could stay up here full time. No. Abandon Trinidad.
He put up a ring and say, will you marry me? And I say, yeah.
Home girl, you enjoy yourself with your family. Yes, family is everything. You did what you needed to do, and it is that. All right. I'm seeing here, Trinbago President Ms. Ramsey Moore, like your extempo work girl. Oh Lord, they sing extempo for the money for your pan players, and them so I've seen something I was on Ian Allen thing. It says still pan players set to receive 2026 Panorama remittance as Pan Trinbago secure payments. Steel pan players who took part in the 2026 Panorama competition are set to benefit from their official remittance. Or remittance sound like it was some pittance. Anyway, just remittance after Pan Trinbago received the funds earmarked for distribution. President Pan Trinbago, Mrs. Beverly Ramsey Moore, formally received the check on Thursday, June the 25th, 2026, marking another step in the organization's continued recognition of the contribution made by pan players to Trinidad and Tobago cultural heritage. The payments are intended for eligible steel pan musicians who participate in this year's Panorama competition, rewarding their dedication and involvement in preserving and advancing the country's national instrument. A brief ceremony was held to acknowledge the receipt of the funds, with Minister of Culture and Community Development, the Honorable Michelle Benjamin, in attendance alongside National Carnival Commission, NCC Chairman Peter Kanhai, and NCC Commissioners. Pan Trinbago said the remittance reflects ongoing efforts to support and recognize the performers whose talents and commitment continue to keep the steel pan tradition alive, both locally and internationally. And again, the story is by IAN News. I want to tell the American, the Minister of Culture and Community Development, what happened to Best Village this year. In fact, ask, what happened to Best Village this year? All they done with Best Village too? If it was Mastana Baham, if you have problems, I just asking a question. Because by now, Best Village is in real thing, you know, people out of jobs, so tutors, service providers, dancers, so many others, maxi drivers, is a whole community, you know. So when you in her Best Village, there's not one person alone. There are Indian groups that take part religiously in the Best Village, whether they're doing the Indian cultural dances or they're doing hip hop or they're doing calypso spirit or whatever. They're all a part of it because Trinidad and Tobago a cosmopolitan country. You know, like a little head shaking, yes, Papa. So in Tobago, listen to Mr. Fall.
But we have to manage this. And yes, there will come a point, Secretary of Financial and Economy, where I will have to issue an edict freezing employment in the THA. Because we can't just keep going. We can't just keep going. Don't be alarmed, those of you who are on short term and is not in this count as yet. Those of you on 10 off. We extended your program till the end of August because we know we didn't want any disruptions before you prepare your children to return to school. But the division is working on transitioning to the permanent hires and filling the vacancies there at the Division of Infrastructure. To fill those vacancies requires that the division promotes those who are already on the establishment into the elevated vacant positions and then make the positions at the bottom available for entry. So that administrative work is happening along with the unions, and we are hoping that by the time we get to the end of August, we will get to the place where we do those permanent hires on the vacancies. And there's some other divisions with some existing vacancies. We're trying to close those gaps. But once we have closed those gaps, we will have to put a pause on hiring for a number of years in the THA to allow us to catch a break. Because with increased budgetary allocation from central government, I don't want us to just increase on the recurrent expenditure. I don't want the recurrent expenditure to mushroom to the place where we have no money to build roads and build schools and to build bridges and to do the infrastructural work that is required. But
I just want to ask a question. Me no economist, me in government, nothing. So when the PNM was in office, the THA to get money, they had to fire nobody, to hire people and do the work they had to do and everything. Now that some more money under the UNC. The father used to be cussing the PNM, but people are still working in Tobago. Now he want more money, and he telling people, he's sending home people in order to have money to fix. So if you send on people unemployed, like what they do in Trinidad, and you're fixing road and fixing that, that is all people will need to see road fix or a bridge bill or something. They want work. They want to be able to get money to buy food to eat and all that. So I don't understand this. So they get more money and all they selling on people. Oh, look now. Hey, careful what you wish for. Listen to this. This place sweet, yes?
Could one of the Caribbean's wealthiest countries be heading toward a debt crisis? I'm Kalila from Money Media, giving you money news from the Caribbean. A prominent regional economist is warning that Trinidad and Tobago is on a dangerous fiscal path that could eventually lead to sovereign debt restructuring or even default. Economist Marla Ducaran is raising concerns about Trinidad and Tobago's growing debt burden following the country's mid-year budget review. According to Ducaran, Trinidad's debt to GDP ratio has climbed to nearly 85%, the highest level in the country's history, and much of the recent increase has come from foreign currency borrowing. She warns that the government is now running what economists call a primary deficit, meaning it has to borrow money not just to fund spending, but also to pay interest on existing debt. Ducaran also argues that Trinidad's foreign exchange reserves may not be as strong as they appear. She says a significant portion of those reserves has effectively been financed through borrowing, making the country more vulnerable if energy revenues decline or access to foreign currency becomes more difficult. The warning is particularly striking because Trinidad and Tobago is one of the Caribbean's largest energy producers and has traditionally been viewed as one of the region's stronger economies. But Ducaran says rising debt, persistent fiscal deficits, and increased government spending are creating a risky combination.
Now, to be clear, Trinidad is not in default, and there has been no indication from the government, credit rating agencies, or international lenders that a default is imminent. But Dukaran argues that unless the country's fiscal trajectory changes, the risk will continue to grow, and that's the bottom line. So, my Trini viewers, what do you think? Are you worried about Trinidad's debt levels? Let me know in the comments. And comment newsletter for money news like this straight to your inbox. Let's get this money.
Let's get this money.
Right, so everybody talking about Trinidad, and Tobago. I see people saying that they should put a list in government. Or leave the young lady alone now. Let her blossom now. She young. Don't push no politics now. Don't, just because she did what she did, everything is falling to paying government to do what? Let her stay out and do she advocacy, because I'm telling you, once they get inside, they just get nuzzle. Because that's how just said, you can't say how you want and do what you want and all that. You have to be a part of a collective. Leave the girl alone. Let she stay outside and lobby and do what she has to do. Leave she alone. Everything falls to paying government, and paying government to what? Leave the young lady alone. Let she live she life. I've seen here, Father Sergio, this was in the Guardian yesterday, more people seeking help this year. Father Sergio is obvious because 10,500 CPF workers gone home, reforestation workers, European workers, in order about 50,000 people without work and lost in work every day. So Father Sergio, you will see an increase in people wanting help. People can't feed themselves. Just now, unfortunately, you might see the hospital saying children coming with malnutrition, suffering from malnutrition. We never had anything in this country. A child might be hungry and didn't get a meal a day, but malnutrition will be a whole different level or something. Because I don't know where people getting money or getting things to feed the children. I really don't know. So this is a story by Shane Superville. It says Roman Catholic Vicar General Father Martin Sergio says he has seen firsthand the effects of economic hardship in and around Port of Spain, noting an increase in the number of people seeking the church help to obtain basic necessity in recent times. Father Sergio raised these concerns and others during his opening remarks at an interfaith service commemorating the 112th anniversary of the Port of Spain City Corporation at the Cathedral for the Immaculate Conception on Charlotte Street yesterday. He referred to the life of John the Baptist, who carried out his ministry in the wilderness, describing the modern wilderness as one marked by financial difficulties and other challenges. He noted that a recent example of economic hardship emerged at a vocational school opened by the Catholic Church in Silat, where attendance declined noticeably. We had a certain number of students that were going, and then all of a sudden, the number of students dropped. And the numbers of students dropped because their parents lost their jobs. Also, 8 years in Port of Spain and more people are hungry this year compared to other years that I've seen here. More people coming for food and things like that. Despite these hardships, Sergio said, confronting the challenges of this metaphorically wilderness requires deep reflection and a stronger connection with God to find the strength to persevere. He therefore urged the public not to become overwhelmed by the challenges of modern life. If in the wilderness you allow the things of the wilderness to get to you, you will become angry, you will become restless, you wouldn't sleep well, your blood pressure will go up, and you might get a heart attack. Speaking with Guardian Media after a post-parade reception at Port of Spain City Hall on Knox Street, Mayor Chinua Allen agreed that he and other members of the corporation had seen an increase in requests for assistance from people in need. I see the public every Thursday, and I have seen a significant increase in the number of persons coming to City Hall seeking food support. And my colleagues who are councillors have also seen an increase in persons going to their offices with their in their electoral districts, whether it be for hampers or anything food related. This is definitely that's happening. We give as much support as we can. We are not the lead agency where that is concerned, but we have a social responsibility and we try our best to fulfill it as many people as possible, for as many people as possible. The thing real. The thing real. And this is why things like these has upset me. And what do I speak about? This was 2 days ago in the Guardian. I wonder if you have a pity up offer. Excuse me. I forget. Director, if you could get me a pity of Felicia Thomas, please. I really forget to get one. Please. Thank you. Please and thank you. Excuse me. I really see somebody that put on the live Tuesday that something about food card. I say, Monica, I remember the person name. I say, Monica, what is you talking about? Anyway, go on to see on the Guardian. PSA want food cards, fuel assistance in back pay deal. I want to start before I read the thing. Felicia Thomas, you blasted fast and out of place. You're fast and blasted out of place. Because that was never the conversation when he was going to the different ministries, all he was having meeting and telling them vote for the UNC, we will get 10%. You never talk about food card, you blasted fast and out of place. So they want to take bread out of the vulnerable people in this country who really need a food card to give public officers food card. That way public officers reach to food card. Is everybody a card? Anyway, let me read this thing. The Public Service Association, PSA, has, I wish you to take the picture where everybody tell me she looking sick. The one down in Faizabad. Or remember she the plump and thing. When I show people the picture, and they say, who is that? The president of PSA, they say, oh, she looking sick, so. I tell you already, the tears are the people who crying for the wickedness she doing to public officers. They ain't bruising their knees and vein and the tears are falling on the ground, you know. All people say when people tears falling because they do them thing, it'll suffer and catch your backside, you know. All right. So, in the Guardian. The Public Services Association, PSA, has submitted a counter proposal to the state seeking to have part of the non-cash component of the back pay owed to its members provided through food cards, fuel assistance, and other benefits. You see me? I'm not reading no more. I'm not going to read no more. Just the thought that this girl, this as people, old people, they say this pissing tail little girl who don't know she asked from she elbow. When it comes to labor, went to negotiate to say 10% are now coming out to tell public officer part of the 10% now is food card. Food card. So let me just get a scenario, right? Let's just say public officers take the food card, right? Okay, let me see. And on Monday go to the grocery with the food card, wherever value it is, wherever. And the grocery say, we are taking that to know because the government didn't pay for the last 4 months, the last 3 months, whatever. What are they gonna do? You know the embarrassment? It has happened right now. But the normal food card you just get from social welfare sometimes. I hear people complaining, the strip on it, something go wrong, it didn't have no money on it and all that thing. So you put in public officers. Public officers who work in the public service, who just facilitate the paperwork and the bureaucracy and everything of the government so that the country could run smooth. Because everything has to come through the public officer. Whether you have to do a cabinet note, you have to do a memorandum, whatever, it's a typist to type that. If it has to go from here to there, is a messenger taking it. If this has to do on this policy and whatever, is the public officer. So let's put all what the minister and them want into black and white, into the framework of the public service because the minister don't run no ministry. The ministry is run by the permanent secretary. So the public officers are very important, integral part. You see, when that one went and take the man pity, all that is an important part of the public service. So now you're telling we on top of all that now, taking pity and trying to shame the person and not intimidate the person. And public officers marching there and asking for the money, begging for the money, they retire, they want the money ever. This dirtiness, this is a dirtiness. That has to be dirtiness, like dirtiness behavior. That not goodness, like dirtiness behavior. This is a pissing little girl who knows nothing about labor. Now going to sit and negotiate for food card and public officers, all they just listen, all they go there, all they go do. I will say it and say it again. If unions settle the negotiating period within the 3rd year of negotiating period, we will get the money to treat with the inflation at that point in time. Because The method used to negotiate is the retail price index methodology. For the 3 years, we look at how, I'll say it over and over again, how inflation eat up the worker's salary for the month, for the year, and over the 3 years. And our percentages work out that the union think is enough to cover and buffer you back from all that money that inflation take away from your salary. That is what it is about. But I don't know, people get sweet on the back pay, so 3 years pass, it is settled, 5 years, and then it gets, so it's more money. I don't know the thought behind it, but my thing is, if you settle it on time, you will get real money, you will get real value for the money because you're getting it in real time. So 6 years pass. It's not only the P&M government fault, it's the I talking about PSA. I was talking authority on PSA. PSA ain't going to settle the negotiation, they play it along for politics. Politics. And they settle it. Because if you write to the chief personnel officer, just as Civil Service Act, and they say, who could initiate the start of negotiation? The CPO could be directed by the Minister of Finance and tell the Minister of Finance, reach out to them union and tell them we're ready to start, get the documents in order. Or the unions could reach out to the CPO and say, hey, we're ready to start, we think in our order and file the document. Any one of the two. If the PSA was saying that the CPO wasn't meeting to treat with them for the purpose of negotiation, why they didn't take themselves and go to the CPO and say we're ready to start? And if the CPO want to start wherever, then take it to court for judicial review of the section in Civil Service Act. Failure to comply with the instruction or the regulation in the Civil Service Act, but no, years pass. So whatever money you get greatly depreciated, right? But not only that. When you work for that money every month and inflation take it away, because your contract with the employer is you give your labor, your work, and the employer pay you in cash. Nowhere in the agreement say, you go give me a food card, you go give me a basket of groceries, you go give me some clothes, you go give me some fuel. It never say nothing. No. You go pay me bond, you go pay me light bill, you go pay me house. There was no arrangement that you get cash. They give you a bank account number and your salary go to the bank. Long time who didn't think, you say get check, you go in the treasury, you change it if it's under a certain amount and that, but everything gets sophisticated, going straight to the bank, you're on the IRIS system. Every month by the 15th, everything going, ting, some month and they can get your money. So if you have to get a raise on that money, because inflation eat away your money, and they set a percentage for the inflation eat away your money, then it's money I had to get. Because that's part of your salaries that you don't get them back. So you could give me that in food card. So I'm saying again, this pissing tail dirty little girl who sell out public officer because while she eating and drinking nice, all the people say she looking nice, she looking like she's sick. She got promotion in WASA because she was a contracted worker. She got permanent and she gone up in high range. She working, she's the president of PSA. It is alleged she salary about $50,000. It's alleged. She on a state board for the government, so she's now part of the employer class, the employer class. She gets her money there too. So she can sit down and sit down with we, the members of PSA, or sit with the government, well, the CPO, to negotiate for the members of PSA when she's a part of the government, an employer. So the same bourgeoisie, they say complain about, oh, them ministers and them politicians eating nice as bourgeoisie are drinking nice, and the working class eating crumbs. Them buggers and them now become the same bourgeoisie class that they was complaining about. So who really stand up for the workers? But all they go and get all the food card. I don't understand that at all. You go get thinner than how I see up in Faizabad for the wickedness that they do in public office. Where's the retirees? They're going to get the retirees and them food card too. So all they want to tell people to spend their own money where they don't work for. Felicia Thomas, I used to always tell you, we pass Leroy Baptiste, we pass Watson Solomon, Juka talking spiritually, you know, we pass them, everything will be on you. Because you know better. People are talking about woman and woman, then you should know better. Your wickedness, you go get thinner than that. You hear what I'm telling you? You get thin, you want to pelt flag and all kind of thing, whatever, you go get thinner than that for your wickedness. Because after Labor Day, you come in to tell workers, public officers about food card and fuel. Look, twa. Let me continue and move this from off this screen. Director, move them from off my thing. I ain't got to the CPO because the CPO is directed by the Minister of Finance. The same one who the opposition leader went and stand up and take picture with. So now public officers getting food card. You think that talk with all of them? That's why when we see a pose up, no time, tripping about he was up there and his father was in the union and okay, how he wasn't there last year, how he wasn't there the year before, the year before. So it's only now you remember your father was in the union, that's why he was down there. Come, let me move on, Papa. Papa. But listen to Felicia Thomas first. Listen to she.
10% is here. Today, the executive of the PSA met with the personnel department and received a formal offer on your behalf of 10%. Comrades, I must say, promise made, yet another promise kept. I must thank the Honorable Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar for her commitment, for ensuring that the promises made on that workers' agenda continue to roll out. And of course, thanks to the Honorable Minister of Finance for the work that he has done in ensuring that 10% was a possibility today.
All I hear she said anything about food card, that was before. Promise made, promise kept, that was before. All I hear she talk anything about food card. But I could understand why Twitter and them are upset. Because I understand that they are saying that money was put aside for the 5% they settled to pay them the arrears. And that in the $20,000, where they hustle to get public officers to show they do something, some partial payment at the 10%, they use up the teachers' money. That is why here, you know true. And now this little worthless, pissing tail, dirty little girl. I say that based on she behavior. And anybody will agree with me. Want to tell people food card, that will be reached to food card. Mayor Chinua Allen has been telling the country, by extension, the Minister of Local Government, for a little while now, the challenges they have in the corporation because the budget has been cut significantly. And I saw a listing of the PNM constituencies, corporation, and the UNC corporation under PNM, how much they used to get, and now under the UNC, what they're getting. And you could see in the PNM corporation, the money has been cut by millions of dollars. And in the UNC corporation, the increase in the budgetary allowance has been increased by millions of dollars. So Mayor Chinua Allen has been speaking about the challenges he having to pay, or for the workers to get paid, because he was told, I just going to what I think he said, to use the money there and give the public officer the $20,000 they go get back money. And now they ain't get back no money. So Mayor Chinua Allen said, I warned the national community over 2 months ago that local government was heading for a fiscal fiasco. The fiscal fiasco is now here. Instructing corporations to pay civil servants back pay without budgeting for it is bad fiscal policy. As a result, the Port of Spain Corporation does not have enough allocation to pay civil servants' salaries this month, and we have no allocation to pay salaries for July, August, and September. I am calling on the Minister of Local Government and the Minister of Finance to take immediate action to provide salaries for our hard-working civil servants. That's there written by the mayor. And I want to ask if this wickedness is being done to the Port of Spain Corporation as well as the other PNM Corporation simply because it's PNM Corporation. Because Port of Spain is the city. And if you starve the city of funds for the corporation to have money to do what they have to do and then to pay workers, what do you expect the workers to do? They have bank loans, They have mortgages, they have different types of monthly bills to pay, light bill, phone bill, food bill, the children lessons, and all other things. And you tell them they ain't getting no pay July, August, September. The bank can't think not interested in that. Interested in whoever you're owing, whoever furniture, so whoever you're owing, not interested in those things, they want their money. So what is supposed to happen to these workers now? This is the level of wickedness we'll continue going through. If you all say you want to run the country because the PNM wasn't doing it properly, and whatever it is, well then do the right thing. Because at least under the PNM, that all is not running the country properly and Rowley don't like nobody. Everybody that working. Everybody as small as it was working and have a piece of money to do what they had to do and that kind of thing. So I just don't get it. And all they say he was a dictator, but we living on that state of emergency forever and ever and ever. You can't say this, you can't say that, you can't say this. I don't understand. Under Dr. Rowley, all they call him monkey, he ugly, he too black, he this, all they marching all over, all they have picture on faces all on Facebook, all they all in front. The parliament shouting, Rowley must go, all the day, all the walking day. But all they say he was a tyrant. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm missing something. So listen to this.
Do you work for the Port of Spain City Corporation? If so, yeah, hard luck. You're not going to get for June. Because according to the mayor, the Port of Spain City Corporation is unable to meet June's payroll and for the foreseeable future. Apparently, the government instructed corporations to pay civil servants their back pay without actually providing the allocations for it. So what I glean from this is that the corporations then had to use what they had, maybe in a bank account somewhere, wherever the money does come from. But because they had to do that, they now have no money to pay June's salary and July and August and September. So now the mayor is begging the minister who's in charge of this to run some funds quick because people have to get paid. And apparently, he has been raising the alarm about this for over 2 months. He saw this coming and he has been speaking about it. And no one has been taking him seriously. And, well, here we are today. Khadija, what taking place with the money, girl? Come on. Do have people begging for the money? A man must never have to beg for his salary after he works. The end of June is like some days away. And the money ain't touched the bank yet. I watch local, regional, and international news regularly. And I haven't seen, for a long time now, a government assume office and made such a mess in such a short space of time. Like everything, you know. Is everything. I mean, Mbut was bad. Don't get me wrong. I am not really an Mbut fan. I've said it many times, but you have to give Jackie Jacket in this case. Bruce to make sure all your salaries run. When he said back pay coming by the 15th, back pay coming by the 15th. It wasn't a case of back pay coming by the 15th, and then on the 14th you hear, well, you might get a food card and, you know, some rations, and 10% of your back pay, and the rest come in next budget. It was never that. Just pay the workers now. You all had all the answers while you all were in opposition. You could fix crime in 100 days. Or you'd have a foreign exchange cartel. You're going to mash up that and drop the names and free up the money. Nothing so far, you know.
What has been making news also is the owner of Blue Waters Products Limited and his wife are reported to have spent several hours with the police. That was back then. This report was a couple of days ago because it wasn't on Wednesday and Thursday, so probably 2 days ago, right? Dominic Hadid and his wife, Genevieve, were up till late yesterday in custody of the police. They were taken in by the police after searches were conducted at their own properties. The couple's attorney have confirmed they were arrested. Laptops and other electronic devices were seized during the police operation. The searches were carried out by a specialized unit of TTPS. Mr. Peterson is reported as saying the couple had been in police custody all day, and when asked where they were being held, he said he was unaware, as officers had kept them on the move all day. Mr. Peterson is joined by Faris Alwari, SC, on the legal team. In a statement issued earlier yesterday, the TTPS confirmed that officers had executed court-authorized search warrants at locations in Westmoreland and Twin City. At a news conference, Assistant Superintendent by Police, O.W. Russell, gives some further details. The TTPS stressed that the execution of a search warrant is standard. Senior officers, though pressed by the media, give no further information. So we'll see how that plays out. I see in Tech. Tech is saying just so. This was Thursday, 25th of June 2026, in the Express. The Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission, Tech, has threatened legal action against Member of Parliament for Waterspoon South Keith, Scotland SC, and attorney Keisha Kid Hannibal, alleging their handling of a debt recovery case caused the loss of more than $2.39 million in public funds. In a pre-action protocol letter issued yesterday by attorneys from Freedom Law Chamber, led by senior counsel Anna Ram Logan, Tech signaled its intention to sue both attorneys for professional negligence, breach of contract, fraudulent and/or negligent misstatement and deceit. The proposed claim arises from efforts to recover $2,392,220.11 in unpaid electricity charges from Favorite Food Limited. According to the letter, Tech will seek damages equivalent to the value of the debt, together with interest, legal costs, and other losses allegedly incurred as a result of the failed litigation. The utility also indicated it intends to pursue aggravated and exemplary damages. The issue first entered the public arena earlier this month when Prime Minister Kamala Prasad-Bissessar raised the matter in Parliament, accusing Scotland of mishandling Tech's attempt to recover the debt and announcing that legal action would be pursued. The Prime Minister also indicated that the matter would be referred to the fraud squad and that disciplinary proceedings before the Law Association could be considered. Speaking to reporters outside Parliament afterwards, Scotland denied any wrongdoing and challenged Prasad-Bissessar to repeat the allegation outside the protection of the parliamentary privilege. I invite the Prime Minister to make these claims outside of the Parliament, Scotland said. He maintained that proceedings had been filed against Favorite and produced court documents which he said supported his position. Scotland had also rejected suggestion of any improper relationship between him and Favorite chairman Louis Andre Montel, describing allegations of collusion as serious and unfounded. And it went on, and it went on. I just want to ask a question because again, he doesn't know this thing. So, how long this thing with Tech and Favorite and Keith Scotland SC and the other lawyer and they going on? So, how come Tech, if they wanted to get back the money, why they didn't do what they're doing now? I'm trying to understand. So Tech, all they didn't know, all they had to get is money and how all they are alleging that Keith Scotland SC didn't do due diligence or whatever. All them years, this is a recent thing that happened just recently. I'm just asking if this thing is years now, whatever the case. How come now Tech all now making that issue? But just asking, I don't know. We don't know, Papa. I don't know. Hey, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? I'm seeing that the Law Association has finally said something. Let me see what the Law Association is saying. June the 25th, 2026, Law Association questions protest ban on the SOE. The Law Association of Trinidad and Tobago has broken its silence on the state of emergency and the government ban on protests near key state institutions, questioning whether the restrictions are constitutionally justified and calling for evidence to support continued emergency powers. In a statement on Thursday, LATT acknowledged the security challenges which led to the March 2nd, 2026 state of emergency, but warned emergency powers are intended for exceptional and temporary circumstances and do not provide an unlimited license to restrict fundamental rights. The association raised concerns about the emergency powers prohibition of public protests and demonstrations, Order 2026, which bars protests within a 500-meter radius of 50 locations, including major centers of governmental and judicial authority. The question arises whether this restriction is rationally connected to the stated objective of the state of emergency, Lat said, arguing the measure could undermine the effectiveness of protests and potentially extinguish constitutional rights to peaceful assembly and expression. The association also referred to reports of arrests outside of designated zones, warning that enforcement without adequate public guidance could undermine confidence in the administration of justice and have a chilling effect on constitutional freedoms. LAT called on authorities to review the order, urged police to clarify the exclusion zone, and asked government to provide measurable evidence-based justification for extending the state of emergency. And listen to Rambo's explaining this. Listen to this.
Have you all seen this story? SOE detainee released without charge. My life was destroyed. Let's get into it because I don't think you all fully grasp how dictatorial this Kamala-led regime truly is. Having been arrested on November 24th, 2025 and released on January 31st without charge, the man said, "The allegations have completely destroyed my life. I was arrested and treated like a prisoner, yet I was never charged with any offense." He said, despite a search of his home during which nothing illegal was found, he was detained on a preventative detention order and taken to the maximum security prison Golden Grove, Piaco, for the duration of his incarceration. Referring to the prison conditions as inhumane, he said the cells were overcrowded, lacked running water, were poorly ventilated, and were overrun with cockroaches, rats, and mosquitoes. He went on to say, "What I went through completely broke me down. The physical suffering is one thing, but the mental and psychological damage remains with you," he said. The former detainee claimed, here how they mess up this man's life. Now he's a former detainee. Imagine going from a free man, John, Paul, Mike, Rick, whatever, to now being referred to as a former detainee. You don't see this government mad? This is why our justice system has been framed around this exact phrase, innocent until proven guilty. Evidence. You can't just run up in a man's house because you feel something, so you arrest him, send him to a maximum security prison for a couple of months, find no evidence, and just say, "Oh yeah, boy, we try a thing. You're free to go." What even is that? At this point, we are no longer living in a democracy. The entire rule of law has collapsed, and we just chilling, hoping they can come for one of us next. This is why I keep telling you all, I do not respect anybody in this building. Because we are supposed to be a country that follows the rule of law and a justice system innocent until proven guilty and all these rules and regulations. And we have a law association that's sitting down and saying nothing while we have a government just detaining people with no evidence. Every day is a new headline. This one detained, that one detained, this other one also detained. They detained over 1,600 persons and only about 25 or 30% of them they were able to find evidence for. The rest of them just chilling behind bars. Or, like in the case of that story I just read, just released and told you, pick up where you left off with your life, and silenced from the law association. Had this happened anywhere else in the world, it would have done reach the Supreme Court already. But it's a shakedown fat match organization. The same way how we have a shakedown fat match government running the country, they have turned the entirety of this country into a shakedown operation. Because I don't understand how any lawyer, any judge, magistrate, or any other law practitioner could sit down and watch us and be like, "Yeah, boy, this is the way to go." I don't see nothing wrong with this.
Listen to Ms. Camille Robinson Regis. This is a little vintage. Listen.
They want to advise us on how to run this country. Mr. Deputy Speaker, if anybody takes God out of their thoughts and votes them back into government, they need licks. And God help us, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
You hear what she said? That was when Piano was in office. Again, somebody else warning. If you put UNC there, you need licks. Listen to this.
We, as the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, we didn't know what we do. They say when UNC win, everybody win. But me tell you something, boy. And I, from experience, and I could talk and I could walk the walk. Don't mind they say Dr. Kid Rowley thief and wherever. But on a Sunday morning, you see people in market bag. On a Sunday, the place busy. It had forestry. It had URP. It had CPEP. Don't mind they said it was corrupt. But it was good. The country was still running good. Because you know why? People still had money. Right? Now we don't have nothing. I just hope all the Trinidad and Tobago will get up and wake up and smell like coffee, you know. You understand? I will never. I support UNC, yes, and I vote for them. The whole world know. I have pictures, you know. I have videos. I support them, but I didn't know. We didn't know. We see we take a chance and we will give them a chance now, boy. But that chance was never a good chance. I had children, boy. You understand? That days I came send them to school. The whole of the are looking for work, are begging for work, nothing. I rent to pay. Right? I want for a food kid. My hand in brick, my foot in brick. That is it. That's what they tell me. Yeah. That's what them tell me. Yeah. So, all I could say, all your UNC ain't getting my vote again. Never in life. Right? It's 47 years in this little world, but I never in life see a government like this. I tell you only. Hey, when Patrick Manning was in power, I see money. I see money with the PNM. Elmo girls see money with the PNM. I see money. I play with money. UNC, me is see that money.
When UNC win, everybody win. When UNC win, we go get 10%. Now they say food card and fuel. Oh God, you have to laugh, yes, Papa. Felicia Thomas say go meet it, girl. I'm going to tell you something, you go meet it. I talk in spiritually, darling. I don't ever talk nothing physical, you go meet it. Because I know people crying. I know people crying out and calling you wicked. And the tears are dropping on the ground. I know that. This is for the young people.
Young people in Trinidad ask why nobody in power listens to them. I'm going to tell you the real reason why, and it's going to make you feel very uncomfortable. There's a framework political scientists use to understand how power works. It's simple. Every government, every leader, stays in power by keeping a specific group of people happy. The people whose support they actually need. These are called the keys to power. If you're a key, if a leader needs your support to stay in office, you get resources, you get support, you get listened to. If you're not a key, meaning the leader can stay in power whether you're happy or not, you get ignored. Not because they hate you, but because you don't matter to the math. Now, look at the young people in Trinidad. Look at the Cassidy protests. Loud, passionate, righteous. Young people in the street demanding justice, demanding change. And look at what happened. They were managed, warned, dismissed, and largely ignored by the people who have the real power. And here's why, and this is the hard truth. Politicians have run the numbers, and they know young people under 35, have the lowest turnout when it comes to voting in this country. So in the cold mathematics of power, we, the young people, are not the key. You can ignore the young people and still win an election. You can disappoint the young people and still win. Your protest could shake the whole country, and they could wait it out, because protest is not power. Votes is power. A politician will cross the road for a group of voters, but they will not cross the room for a group that only marches. So here's what I need young people to understand. Your anger is real. Your cause is righteous. But all that anger and protest without votes is just a fire with no fuel. The reason you get ignored is not because you don't matter. The reason you get ignored is because you don't matter to the one metric that the politicians actually count. The day young people in Trinidad and Tobago vote in the same numbers that they protest, then everything in this country changes. Overnight, we the youths become a key to power. Overnight, every politician in this country has to answer to you. Not because they suddenly care, but because the math forced them to. Want them to stop ignoring you? Well, then stop being optional. Register, vote, and turn that block that just marches into a block that actually decides. This is the only language that power has ever understood. If you're under 35 and you're fed up of being ignored, the power was always in your hands. Because the moment we vote together, they could never ignore us again. Share this with every young person you know, because the power has always been in your hands. You just have to use it.
Young people, I hope you're listening because as a young person, I hope you're listening and understand. The time for stating me to vote now, me, and all of them, the save and all that long time thing. All you have to get all yourself involved. Always the future. This is the system of governance we have. It's based on the Westminster system or something. So from England, all you get all yourself involved. Peacefully. No wild thing. No wild scene. Because I know all they could do it. All they bright, you know. All they bright and some, all they brighter than we and all. All they could do it. So let me get us some politics here now because it leading all to politics at the end of the day. All our show coming down to politics. This, as see Slimy say, we will get box lunches. So Slimy don't say that. You know why? Just choose a woman say, we getting food card and bam, I see on the papers food card. So next thing you come and they say, no, it's food card and box lunch. So you don't have to buy lunch as a public officer. Again, you will get lunch coming, box lunch. So Slimy, careful what you're saying, please. Don't aggravate this. Don't aggravate this. Don't aggravate this scene. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm seeing here, MP Marvin Gonzalez appeals for PNM unity. 26th of June 2026. And CNC3 News Desk. This is what it says. As opposition leader Penelope Beckers began whipping the People's National Movement, PNM, into shape ahead of the next local government election, the party's chairman Marvin Gonzalez urging members to put aside internal divisions and unite behind a common goal. Addressing supporters at a PNM meeting in Marabella on Thursday night, Gonzalez made a direct appeal for reconciliation within the opposition, declaring that personal differences must no longer stand in the way of rebuilding the party. It is our responsibility as PNM members to put aside our petty differences, Gonzalez told supporters. Let us hold hands together because our differences are insignificant compared to the threats that face the people of Trinidad and Tobago. His comments come against the backdrop of persistent accusation that the PNM has been plagued with infighting since the transition of power from Dr. Keith Rowley and the following massive defeat in the general election. Once regarded as a party that largely kept its internal disagreements behind closed doors, the PNM has in recent months faced repeated speculation about division among senior figures as it seeks to regroup in opposition. Gonzalez dismissed any suggestion that personal relationships within the party should take precedence over its political mission. I don't care who ain't like me. I don't care who ain't like Penny. I don't care who ain't like Amy Bong. I don't care who ain't like Brian Manning. I don't care who ain't like Costa Cummins. I don't care who don't like Stuart Young. I don't care who ain't like Rowley, he said. At the end of the day, who ain't like who is not important. Getting sane and stable governance in Trinidad and Tobago must be our clarion call and must be the sole focus. The chairman urged party members across Trinidad and Tobago, even those living abroad, to mobilize and strengthen the party's grassroots machinery in preparation for the local polls. Get your party groups organized, get your constituency organized, get all the units of your constituency and your party organized, he said. Let us mobilize all our PNM units. Let us get together and move to all of the constituency, all of the communities. Let us rally the people together. Gonzalez also sought to broaden the PNM's appeal beyond its traditional support base, claiming that many former supporters of the governing United National Congress has become disillusioned. There are people who once supported the UNC, don't want to have nothing to do with the UNC again. Let us bring them back in the PNM, he said. He described the PNM as a national movement capable of attracting citizens regardless of political affiliation, race, or ethnicity. If you care about Trinidad and Tobago, the PNM is now a national platform that will rally all the people, regardless of race, regardless of color, regardless of your ethnicity. Gonzalez went on to launch a scathing attack on the UNC administration, describing it as corrupt, inept, and criminal, while arguing that removing the government should be the party's central objective. He also sought to remind supporters of what he described as the PNM historical values. The PNM is far different from the UNC. We believe in morality in public affairs. We represent the conscience of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, he said. Calling for a renewed sense of unity, Gonzalez hailed the party's past leaders, including founder and leader Dr. Eric Williams, former Prime Minister George Chambers, Patrick Manning, Keith Rowley, as well as current opposition leader Penelope Beckers and former Prime Minister Stuart Young. This is the People's National Movement, he said. Today, here in Clarkson Bay, I call all party members, let us put aside our differences and let us unite once and for all. I would just like to say this to the Honorable Marvin Gonzalez. And that's what somebody was saying recently, you know, or somebody was telling me, a young person was telling me recently, you treat the people a type of way since after this election, April 28th, but when you come into election now, they come in there, well, we come together, everybody come together and forget the differences. All they always want people to forget and only deal with the situation that have them feeling the way they're feeling. People forget what you say, forget what you do, but they'll never forget how you make them feel. And you all make people feel a particular kind of way. Bullying, intimidation, name calling, insults, and making you feel as though you did something wrong because you disagree, with the opposition leader, political leader, and the way the executive of the PNM is carried out. So forget all of that and just come together as one. Gone are the days of those things, MP Gonzalez. I say that to the greatest of respect. Because a personal fighting all day and, you know, making the contribution and thing, but don't get pulled into that. Deal with the issues at hand. Treat the members who are hurting from whatever side. Treat it in a real way. Don't just simply say it's time to pull together now. They always wanted to pull together, but only pulling against the members by the actions of what happened. And there's a couple of situations, I'll mention one again, that you all have never taken responsibility for or talk to the members and say why you all did it, why you all felt it was necessary to do it. Nothing. Again, there was a meeting somewhere and 13 MPs won the seat for the PNM, 13, 1-3. However, 7 sit down by themselves and put Ms. Beckers as the opposition leader without telling the next 6. So don't you think the other 6 MPs who were not invited to that meeting, their constituents and their constituency, then have hope for the MP also? Or probably the MPs themselves have some ambitions, but only take away all that by just sitting down with 7 and making that decision for the whole of the PNM and Trinidad and Tobago. But nobody does want to talk about that. But all they're quick to talk about, Dr. Rowley was arrogant and Dr. Rowley brings Stuart Young and Stuart Young just come and Stuart Young is Rowley disciple and all they love to talk about that. And if Stuart Young didn't call the election early, it would not happen. So let me tell you, anytime they call the election, PNM was going to lose because Rowley wasn't operating in good faith. There's somebody who said what Rowley was doing, and we believe it to be true because the conversation about Black Party and Black Party, but now you're talking about PNM is a national party, all inclusive. But then all you're talking about Black Party and Black Caucus, make up all your mind. They can't be half pregnant. They can't be fish and fowl at the same time. What is it? Is the PNM a national party, as the constitution of the PNM would have stated in the charter? The constitution of the PNM would have stated. Or is it a black party that always say? Make up your mind. It can't be the two one time. Another reason is people are saying, what all they want to delude all themselves for whatever reason, that the opposition leader is politically weak. And like some people don't understand what people mean when they say politically weak. We don't mean as a woman she is strong. We're not talking about physical strength. We're talking about when it comes to the politics, she's not strong there. She don't deliver with any real oomph. She don't have to shout. People feel the need she should shout and talk harder. No. Somebody could be very quiet in the delivery, but you get the point. Mrs. Camille Robinson-Regis is not a loud person. Her voice is very measured and toned, but when she gives you it, you get it, you say, oh, God. Miss Shanfa Kojo does deliver in she way. She don't scream and get on and everything. But when she hit you, you say, oh, God, guys. Same way, it are other members of parliament. But when you listen to the opposition leader, if it wasn't for people like yourself, MP Gonzalez, and you know that to be true, and Ms. Camille Robinson-Regis, and Dominic Romain, and Stuart Young, Keith Scotland, etc., the PNM will be almost useless in Parliament. Because at the end of the day, they have a leader, so whether MP Marvin, you sound good, MP Stuart Young sound good, MP Camille Robinson-Regis sound good, and all the others sound good, there is a leader that all they choose, 7-6 all they choose, a leader. And after all that talk now, when the leader stand up, it ain't nothing. She don't have a depth and wealth of knowledge on those issues in any real way. She just skirts and everything, and people seen it because time is going, a year come and just now. In the earliest, people may not have seen it, but people seen it now. Those things are real things, so it's good to talk unity. Unity is good. But you can't talk unity on one hand and people calling people penny haters. Just because they're saying Mrs. Penelope Becker's politically weak, she don't have that. They're saying penny haters, and they continue with that. So you can't say unity and penny haters. You can't say it's a black party and then say it's a national party. Make up all your mind what it is. Because I'm telling you all, young people are not attracted. I'm not saying they don't have some young people will not be. But in the main, young people are not attracted to what they're seeing right now in this PNM. And it has to do with the leadership. That is a fact. So keep burying all your head in the sand, and just when it's time for voting, come to talk about unity, and we come together with a wound that nobody wants to clean. And put plaster on it, and when the sun hot and it start to sweat, it start to ooze, and you put next plaster on it and keep putting plaster till it has no space for plaster. And then one day everything just and just waiting, thinking that people will be so disenchanted with the UNC, they will automatically vote for the PNM. MP Gonzalez, I hope you're not one of those who thinking like that. Them is a long time days. And when they can't win no election with seniors like myself and others, they can't. There must be an injection of new voters, young voters, because it take the party to the next chapter. The foundation of the PNM is there good, it's solid as a rock. But this is a new chapter now. 60s, 50s, 60s was a different era. 1780s a different era. The 90s, 2000s a different era. Coming along here is a different era. And each time the PNM had a leader who was able to transition the party from one step, from a Dr. Ike Williams to George Chambers to Patrick Manning to Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. Always able to. And it always had problems in the PNM because human beings at the end of the day, people just get away wherever. But it had a leader to pull everybody. This leader is very divisive. She can't pull it together because she like pettiness. You talking about forget pettiness? She need to forget pettiness. Every time you go on the stage, you have to tell us you're the first female political leader of the PNM, the first female opposition leader of the PNM. They say how it was dressed. They say that you're this, and they think this. And you always have to regurgitate the same thing over and over instead of getting to the point. We understand that. We know that you're the first and the first and the first, and we know what you is. We know where it was before council, this, that, and all the position he held, and this and that, and the UN and all. We know all that. Come and start to talk. So by the time you take up the whole time talking about all them things you're talking at every meeting, you ain't have not too much to say. And then people talking about crowd and crowd. Crowd has never determined how people will vote, you know. People has got a crowd, it have music, it have a line, whatever. That is not a determination, you know. And if people have always carried people from different constituencies to go to different constituencies to meeting, because that's how it does meet others. So you're down in Arima, you might know people down south, you know, it have a meeting in south, we going down. And you meet because families, people, family, at the end of the day, PNM family, you never go point 14, you say, I'm from Carnage, we go down to the meeting. So that's a normal thing. But you can't have the same people going all over in meetings and them as the crowd. We're the indigenous people of that community. Look, there was down in Marabella or somewhere down there. I understand Mr. Manning, MP Manning, he living too far from there. And must see around there to easy constituency. I'm not too sure. We're going to walk around with them thing. He was there in the crowd. How all they didn't allow the man to speak? People come from all down in east and all kind of place and talk down there. He from south. He when he speak by thousands of votes and he talk on the podium to the people down there about, oh God, we MP boy, oh God, look man and son, oh God, look at Brian, oh God, nothing. He's just around there. And I said because he write a letter concerning the discrepancies in the voters list. Is it all they punishing him for that? I had to ask that question because the same thing happened up in Aruka, you know. Miss Camille Robinson Regis from Maloney. Maloney not far from Aruka, or they had meeting in Aruka, and the MP wasn't there. Miss Camille Robinson Regis has got the most set of votes and thing, you know. Maloney and them just sticking up. And all they in her she there. Now if she was invited, she didn't come, that different story. We ain't know nothing about that. All we know she wasn't there. And it looked kind of funny. Is it totally victimizing Miss Camille Robinson Regis because she outspoken and who don't like who? You're talking about who don't like and who don't like who? Who all they don't like? Ask who all they don't like. So I saying all this is at the end of the day, we need a people's national movement. It is important. But you see what all they offering the young people? The young people ain't going to pull together for that. Them is saying nothing to hold their attention. The older ones and them go think because them understand the whole thing, like Dr. Williams come down, think, but them young one and them looking for accountability, looking for transparency, they're looking for ethics. They're looking for new ideas. I really don't give them a chance to talk at all. But listen to this.
The weakest leaders create cultures where honest people stop talking. And I have been, unfortunately, in that situation myself, where I just decided to stop talking young in my career, because I felt like they're not going to listen, they're not doing anything about it, they're not holding anybody accountable, and it's a sign of weak leadership. People need to be able to speak the truth, and you should be the person in leadership who is encouraging that truth all the time. And the best way for people to know that they can tell the truth is through practice. If they tell the truth, and then your response is a really negative one, or you shut them down or you ignore them, well, then they're never gonna talk to you, or maybe they'll try one more time, but eventually they'll just stop. And then you're gonna be surrounded. You're gonna be in an echo chamber, surrounded by yourself and a bunch of yes people. And the worst thing that you can have as a leader is yes people. You want people who are there telling you the truth all the time and calling you out when you're doing stuff that's dumb. So encourage and actively ask for honesty from your people.
Is that what you want, MP? Because that's what they say. So you move on. Basically, I was saying just move on. Don't question all the things that hurting people. Let me just move on and just ask them. Because people are talking, watch this. This is my work. I don't even know who this is, but it's all over June 23rd of June 2026. F. Grade, Penny Beckers and the PNM. 1 year failure, anonymous hard-hitting letter to the editor unveiled. Failed anti-crime legislation, dereliction, duty of duty. The PNM Senator Deborah Kirk protecting proxies and throwing women under the bus. Abandoning constituency a year of weak representation. Dancing in glee, tolerating hateful and seditious comments. Surrendering in parliament, begging to move against the government. People are talking, that all day. Them thing all day, look. The PNM just hit rock bottom. Internal conflict is killing the party. This is the end of the entire PNM. Make sure everybody think crack up and pretend people talking. These things are out there, so calling we penny haters ain't helping. And telling people they ship up, ship out, and taking people Facebook posts and talking about the fraction against this and all them kind of foolishness. Look at this one. What? PNM talk, you mocking pretender, letter to the editor. All right? Look at next one again. Where is this? Caribbean focus. The battle within the PNM, Penelope Beckers is a weak leader and they want her gone. Their editor, the People's National Movement today stands at a crossroad, and the signs are not subtle. What is unfolding is not ordinary political disagreement. It is a deepening leadership crisis excuse me, that exposes a party struggling to find direction after electoral defeat. Since Penelope Beckers assumed the role of leader of the opposition, her leadership has faced sustained scrutiny, not only from political opponents, but from within her own ranks. In politics, external pressure is expected. Internal resistance, however, it is far more damaging and far more revealing. The reality is that the PNM appears increasingly fractured. While official statements may project unity, the political temperature inside the party tells a different story. There is growing perception that confidence in the current leadership is thin, and the strategic direction is no longer clearly anchored. In every major political party, defeat triggers reflection. But in the case of the PNM, reflection seems to have shifted into quiet contestation. Leadership questions are now unavoidable in public discourse, even if they are carefully avoided in official party communication. Within political circles, several senior figures are frequently discussed as influential power centers inside the organization. These include former Prime Minister Keith Rowley, Stuart Young, Foster Cummins, Paris Alwari, and Brian Manning. While none have publicly declared any leadership challenge, the persistent mention of these names reflects a deeper truth. The party is seen as divided into competing internal blocs rather than functioning as a unified opposition. This is the real issue confronting Penelope Beckers, not simply external political pressure, but a perception of weakened authority within her own party structure. In politics, perception often becomes reality, and once a leader begins to lose control of the narrative internally, stability becomes difficult to maintain. The PNM electoral defeat has intensified these pressures. Defeat of the scale forces hard questions about leadership, direction, communication, strategy, internal cohesion, and public trust. These questions have not been convincingly answered. What is visible is a party struggling to reposition itself while simultaneously managing internal tension. This is a dangerous combination for any opposition. A divided opposition cannot effectively hold government to account, nor can it present itself as a credible alternative. Meanwhile, the government under Prime Minister Kanwa Persaud-Sessa continues its mandate to govern, while the opposition appears increasingly absorbed in its own internal recalibration. The contrast is clear. One side is tasked with delivery, the other appears trapped in internal uncertainty. The PNM now faces a decisive moment. It must either consolidate under clear and effective leadership or continue down a path where internal rivalry overshadows national relevance. Political parties survive defeat. What determines survival is whether they emerge stronger or fracture under pressure. For Penelope Beckers, the challenge is not merely external criticism. It is far more difficult task of commanding unquestioned authority within her own political house. Without that, leadership becomes symbolic rather than functional. Ultimately, only time and the internal democratic processes of the PNM will determine the party next chapter. But as things stand, the cracks are visible, the questions are growing louder, and the silence from within speaks volumes. Anything about it, the PNM at one time was 33-3. You know what is our next party winning election by 33 seats? And you as a PNM who held the country down for 30 years only had 3 seats. And those 3 heroes, I am sure had a very difficult time. I am sure when they go to constituency, people feeling defeated and depressed and angry and hurt and blaming this one and that one. And those three PNM MPs who won the seat, and they was able to bring back the PNM from 33-3 when it was 12-29 or some kind of thing. So it would have people who still grieving Mr. Manning, who like Dr. Rowley, who like this one, that one, and this one and that one. It had all that happening. And the PNM was able to come back to win the election for 2 consecutive 5-year period. But it has to do with the leadership, and why all you not believe in that? All you can sit down at 6 and 1 7 and pick one person, and 6 wasn't there. And expect it means to say all you had an agenda. And all I was looking for the best person, all I was looking for somebody, in my opinion, all they can manipulate, all they feel weak. It's just like when they say, it is alleged, that when Mr. What's his name? Aaron McLeod became the Minister of Labor under the PP government, he handed over the leadership at OWTU to Ansel Roger, because it is alleged to say, don't know he's a walkover, he's soft, he are relics. It is alleged. Is it that is what happened? The 6 and the 7 who sit down and meet. When I say 6 and 7, it was 7 MPs, including Ms. Becker. She was there, she make it 7. So let me be more specific. Is it that between themselves they say, she's a walkover? You go push it, put down she name, the next 6, they ain't gonna want to cause no scene because we now lost something and thing. So they will sign the thing after they find out, but they don't study them. But push it because we know we could manipulate she really. Is it that is the case? Because I don't understand. Why rather than sit down with 13 members, sit down and all they trash it out, cuss it, whatever it is, and immerse, at least everybody know all they sit down together. All they start off, so they plant a bad seed from day 1 in all their tenure, and then want everybody to fall in line and not understanding why things going. So the same way things ain't going good for Felicia Thomas and people crying. Same thing happening with all you know. Same thing happening with all you know. Things wouldn't go good because all they start off doing this thing good, all they start off in this honesty. Think about it, MP Gonzalez. But I hear you cry. It's not unreasonable. Any party and a chairman of a party or whatever party in it will call for that. But you have to understand the dynamics. You can't forget the dynamics because people and their feelings. You can't just want people to move on because all they say is time to move on. No. You don't operate so. Like all this 7, all this sit down and pick the opposition leader, that was all their choice, all they made. The PNM members had no choice in that. Not even the MPs, the 6 MPs who win the seat had no choice in that. All they did that. And the political leader forever talking about, she went up and opposed. We know that. Nobody don't question that. They went up and opposed and it became. Okay, nobody didn't vote fair, but nobody, because there was no voting. It was just in the place. So that's not all. People even vote for you. But because of the mere fact, nobody else contested, it automatically went for you. Right? But again, the electoral process had a lot of discrepancy, and the mayor of Port of Spain wrote about it. The lawyer was his name, Fafai or Mosai, Fai, I doesn't remember how to pronounce it proper. He wrote about it. You had the chair, one of the senior person on the supervisory election committee, Dr. Seals. He just resigned just so. Nobody know why. And all kind of different other things. Somebody called me at night very distressed. They said they rather send people down in Shaguanas and they're paying up the dues. And they just rather send people. I ain't gonna call who name they call whoever. Just rather send people and they're upset when they see going on that or in the night and they rather send people. All kind of things you heard. And they just want me to. And when they want to know why nobody else didn't enter that election. Why would I, a logical person, enter that process where everybody had discrepancies, all issues of discrepancies, and have all kind of thing with the voters and enter that to do what? Then I will be upholding the same system that I complain about. So that conversation about usually only one went up for political leader, he went up and opposed. But let me pay straight all you listening. She wanted to say Stuart Young didn't contest the political leader position. And because of that, he didn't contest it and she think he can't come now. That's my opinion I give him. And people always talking about Stuart Young and this, but he didn't want it. We hear all that. But it has reasons for it, but we are talking about we going past that. You is it now? But people are really gravitating towards it. The same, it's like an incestuous political affair all you're having. Same set of people over and over, and seeing on new faces, same. The women's league coming like it's a little cult. Same thing, and trying to indoctrinate the woman. And when you're teaching a woman and them, Miss Gaspy, when you have nothing to teach. As I said before, he's a hateful person. All that makeup and this demeanor behind that is a hateful heart. I saying so. That is my opinion I give it. So you have nothing good. You like you're biting an apple, it's looking good on the outside. When you bite it inside, you look good, you see worms coming up. That is my opinion I give it. So I'm saying all this to say, your call is a good one, MP. And it should happen, but it won't be able to happen the way all they're going. The country needs a PNM. The country is crying for a PNM. The country is crying for a PNM. But you see what they're seeing there, people not impressed with that. This is my opinion of the whole thing. Weak leader, this is me saying, so this is what I observe. This is me.
Instead of acting in it, Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister just tries to get through the day. Too weak to stand up for our national interest. He's too weak.
Penny's weak leadership, limited assertiveness, displays a too cautious leadership approach.
He's too weak.
Demonstrates a measured and restrained political style.
He's too weak.
Shows limited assertiveness in opposition politics.
He's too weak.
Often adopts a low confrontation strategy.
He's too weak.
Reactive versus proactive. Takes a reactive stance on key issues.
He's too weak.
Engages in issue-by-issue responses rather than agenda setting.
He's too weak.
Shows limited proactive policy leadership.
He's too weak.
Tends to follow rather than lead political narratives.
He's too weak. Yes.
And that's the problem with the opposition leader, the PNM. People want to agree with me. I see somebody say today, oh, in our chatter is that they hear I getting paid. You want to know something? And another one to say Stuart Young paid me. You want to know something? You see my member of parliament? My member of parliament don't have to give me a cent. He don't have to tell me what to say, how to say, and why to say, when to say. Me is a free agent. Nobody can pay me to talk the truth, and nobody can pay me to lie. What I talking is the truth, and I don't need money for that. So if don't judge me by all the standard, all who getting 10,000 and all who getting 1,000, and that is all they affair, I happy for all you. All they have to live me in business for that. But don't judge me by all the standard. That you have to get something for somebody, and it can't be she doing that for free, boy. All that work she was paying for, yes, it's free. I may ask for nothing. And nobody didn't tell me to do nothing. I choose to do what I do. Right? As for penny hater, who want to say that I do business? I know it. I know what I talking about. Me I hate, I just talking straight. But if all they can take criticism, the first thing all of reside to be being the victim. And that's all let us do. Reside as the victim, somebody doing all this something, and then everybody going, oh God, we could say that. Yeah, you gotta say it. That's all this times is, because the young people saying it. The opposition leader is too weak. And continue. The new senator they put, well, me even want to talk about that. That's a whole next disaster, in my opinion, happened down there. And again, it had to do with the weakness of the political leader. I don't know if you don't vet people before they go and start to talk. Because not everything to talk when you're in them position and you have that kind of thing. I could talk all kind of things because me have them position. You have to know how you're saying and phrasing what you're saying, because it will be taken another way. If people take what I say another way, it's of no consequence to me, because I'm not in no authority and nothing. So who don't like what I'm saying? All I can tell all that is okay. But the PNM will get a rude awakening just like all them. If all they feel what I'm saying, I want to say the same thing over and over, and why don't get the woman a chance, and they're too negative, and look, that's quite okay. But tell me that I'm lying now. All of us want to tell me is that Jennifer Frederick, you're lying. Not just cost, Jennifer Frederick and cost. Tell me if I lie. I remember they used to cost me on PSA jersey and cost me on a YouTube podcast. And everything I say, I was telling them, take the 4%. And I was explaining why they cost me. I said, we take the 4%, we will go back and renegotiate, because the Prime Minister said, listen, when the next time they come back, something different, and then wherever money coming in 2027, or they will get the consolidation or COLA, money go the thing. The time done pass. I know it was hard for we, and we feel it. I know it was a hard time. People cost me. Are we any better now? Because on top of one thing, we food card now and fuel now, and we ain't get 10% pension. Retirees ain't get no money. We still have outstanding negotiation 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25. And we into 25, 26, next year going here next year. That almost 12 years again. Are we in a better position? Tutor took the 4%. They went back and negotiated. They took the 4% for 6 years. They went and negotiated and get 5% for 3 years. And so they kind of close up to it. We still in a mess. We still ain't get closure with the money. So what the cussing me was about? Are they not lying? Or they cost me? And who will cost and cost? That ain't doing anything. Because it's the truth I'm talking about. And I would say this. All who feel they could cost me and think this and feel that will be easy for me, it go fall back on all that, because I'm not lying on nobody. If I say something and it's not the correct thing and I find out, I come back and apologize and correcting what I say. It's simple as that. But because all you are accustomed living this kind of living, with a dog eat and a fight down and a lion and no, all you feel somebody can be genuine. Me are perfect, but I know I'm not into them kind of choppy thing. Why say, that's it. I stand by my word. I stand on my word. I stand on my word. So I want to say again, I hear what you're saying. David killing me in the bounce up chat. He said, play Penny. Play Penny the what? Let me see what they're saying across here. They real like bacchanal or no? Let me see for myself. Jenny. Where's Henry saying, Jenny? Oh, what about toi? Yeah, boy, them long people used to like to say. Them young people, them old people that like to get toi. When they see they get toi and they hand on the hip and the toi, yeah, so, oh God, you're shame, you know. So I just want to tell everybody on Bounce Up, Slimy and Anon and Deja James, who again, boy, Nicole and Julia, Anon, Mr. Gibson, Attila, who again, Pearl, Benny Q, Nicomi, Papa. Everybody, Mr. Gibson, MH37, Miss Shirley, everybody, my lips sticking together now. I need to drink some water. Apollonius, Marlene, the whole crew. I want to thank you all as usual, always locked on and giving me the opportunity to have a conversation with you. And if I say anything while I lie, I want to let you do something for me quick. Tell me what I talk about the PNM and I was saying about the opposition and thing. Put up and tell me on Facebook and on YouTube. Tell me if I lie. We have a couple minutes. You have some minutes there. Tell me if I lie. Hi Ruthville, hi Vernie, hi Tessa, hi Rosalind. Tell me if I'm lying. Please. Anon, put up. Am I lying? Or misunderstanding? Tell me. Owen, tell me if I'm lying. Mr. Gibson, Pearl, Wayne, Attila, Anon, please tell me now. I'm taking a little poll now. Director, watch it for me. Tell me if I am lying. Say yes, I'm lying or no, I'm not lying. Come, quick. We're doing a poll. What do you hear? We can do poll too. All on Facebook, we're doing a poll. Yes, I'm lying or no, I'm not lying. Come, tell me quick. Come on. Well, I want to be a part of everything. Am I lying? Yes, sure. I did not forget I played way up and I said I can't remember your brother's name, so he get it. Tell me if I'm lying. But hey, Ole not right here. Let me leave Ole and go my way. Ole happy. So then I lie now. Well, me as a one man army when I ready, I know what I saying is the truth. So if Ole in support me, that is okay. Still I love at the end of the day. Right? Let me see. Tell me if I'm lying. No, you're not lying. Pearl Martin say, no, you're not lying. Slimy say, you was lying about Obama. Slimy, David Blast say, for what I lie about Obama, say. Are you not saying me talking anything about Obama? I live in America? Look now, boy. Sister John, she's just waiting, she's yeah. No, I'm not lying. Who again? Mr. Gibson, no. You are open to your opinion. The next one. Leon said, no, you're not lying. Joycelyn said, no lies. Right? So, Slimy like too much back and I never said nothing about Obama. I don't know what you're talking about. I was lying about Obama. You like just to put people in back and on. Benny said, no, Queen, you're not lying. Right? Mark said, no lies. Okay? All right. Look, Jenny, like, type 1, right, you see? Look, director, put it up. Type 1 for yes, Jenny lying, or type 2, no, Jenny lying. All the listen to the thing, go there. Next thing, all you go and put yes, and everybody, all the people say Jenny. So yes, again, if I lie in type 1, yes. Or if I telling the truth, no. Right? Let me see again. What you talking about? Slimy, look, leave me alone, and go your damn way. No, see, then I say no. I'm not lying. Right? And later say no. What the next one say? Yeah, we vote already. Everybody said they vote already. Two, right. Hello. What? Obama said, Slimy. Oh God, Slimy, give me a break now. Everybody's demon for you. We have to use a zombie. Right. The tools have it. The tools have it. They said Jenny, not lying. You see how I love all this of people? Let me do some introspection. Anybody who know MP Marvin Gonzalez, tell him for me now. All they talk to all the MP and thing now. Talk to all the MPs and them. The 6, the 7 that sit down and have the thing and come up with The opposition. Only talk to all the MPs and them now. Talk to the MPs and them too, who they leave out everything now. Let me bring this thing real and together now. Talk to the MPs and them. And all in the executive, only talk to the membership now. Don't run from the membership. Talk to the membership now. But don't just tell me put we finger and we live and move on. That long time thing, MP Marvin Gonzalez. That long time thing. Don't do people them thing. You already few faces are custom coming, go do them thing. Them you one of them ain't doing that. Even some of the stalwart them ain't doing that. They're not in agreement with what going on here. They say right. You was 33-3, we come back, budoy. We was 12-29 or something, so we come back, budoy. You know what's the difference? Leadership. So people, this is what all they miss, and let me look to go. This is what all they miss out when all they didn't vote, and who stay home, and who was all up in the feeling, and who didn't like who. It's all they didn't like who. MP Marvin, why we end up in this stupidness. Look what they miss.
There are people who are not like you. People who celebrate our challenges, take pleasure in our pain, and people who create chaos. People who block our progress and undermine our opportunity, all for political power. But there are people like you who love our country. People like you who work hard to move our country forward. People like you who want a better future for the next generation. There are people like you who want to see Trinidad and Tobago succeed. With people like you, we will continue to fight for our country. With people like you, we will continue to fight for what is right. With people like you, we will continue to build this nation. We will write a new chapter for Trinidad and Tobago together. On April 28th, vote for your future. Vote for people like you. Vote PNM.
MP Marvin only didn't want that. Who said lying in business? Right? And who said it? Simon, it is one, if you think what I say about the PNM happening is a lie, or two, if what I'm saying is the truth. So one, yes, I'm lying, and two, no, I'm not lying. That's what it's about, right? So I see here, Emma, not Emma, now Kim say, you're not lying. Right? So thank you all people. And again, all the talk to all the MPs and things now. Them six like they ain't get it. That six MP who meet with Ms. Penelope Beckers and the thing like them ain't get it. And the people who surrounding she and covering she, they ain't understand and they ain't getting it. They don't realize they can't win no election with that little proof they have there. They feel it's plenty. Again, crowd don't really I put this and I say this about crowd and somebody says I hate all this negative. So just talk nice thing. And say, yes, you know, everything is all right, and behind your hand about them. My God, for all years, that long time thing, yes. That was long time days. Let me see what it is I put up. I want to read it direct. Oh, God the Almighty. Give me a minute, all you. Where the damn thing is? Just so. Right. Crowds at rallies don't mean victory and have no bearing on how voters will vote. Somebody said, this is expected. The tag nothing. Always negative feedback from haters. And the person who writing, and I'm sorry for the people and them writing them kind of thing, you know. Because they know inside, deep inside of the PNM ain't going nowhere under Ms. Penelope Beckers, but like they want something. You know, like there was something and they do business. They don't study the future and the long run. They don't study the big picture and the little children and all that. They want instant gratification. They don't want to work for nothing. That's my opinion I'm giving at the end of the day. But people, I love you all today's Friday. Stay safe. Yes, Mr. Jacobson, you go to Lafayette. You'll show SM move from promoting seasoned chicken to gym workout. What the hell is that? What is that? plenty of them playing for. Yes, Leon, I believe that. But the contract will dry up because anybody want to get anything to anybody in the opposition for 5 years and 10 years, whatever, it will dry up. Even financial go dry up and all. People are paying a little money, the small money, and thing when they realize ain't going nowhere. You think people have money to waste in these times or what? Anyway, people, I love you. I see you all on Monday. Tuesday, God's when I come with something. It has been a pleasure. It has been a fun. Get cheer for life. At the end of the day, we're here. We have to make it work. Look out for the training community who don't have anything to eat. Look out for the mothers and they who don't have anything. Give a helping hand. Try and avoid the cussing and the quarreling and thing because people walking on thin ice, people mental and totally there and thing people under real stress. Look out for the elderly, those in most vulnerable children who have different challenges and different abilities, cerebral palsy and Down syndrome and those who are autism and all the different things that make them special. They are most vulnerable. This wrongs here. Look out for them. Call somebody, tell somebody. If you know the man and the wife beating and she crying and bawling and I come about say something, do something, don't wait till it end up on the papers and thing because people under real stress, this wrongs the law say, well, so let me be a community, come back as a community and let each one help on as little as it is. A little but spoon of rice and a little peas and something, a little flour. You get the neighbor a little flour, a little sugar, something and some peas. You pick some banana in the yard and get you a head of garlic and thing and like something to eat still, a hand of fig. You had dashing, you had fig, you had make a big pot and share, do something now. Let me do something now. People going hungry. Don't let it reach crisis state where children end up in hospital because of malnutrition and starvation. Let me don't reach to them thing now. Let me each one help on at the end of the day, right? It's a love. Whether your neighbor is Indian, there's Chinese, there's African, wherever, reach out. Each one, teach one, help one, love one. Yeah? I love all. See you all on Tuesday. Go spend I come with something for something new. This is your girl Jen, sister Jenny, auntie Jenny. And if you want to get formulas, Miss Jennifer Frederick. Another edition that we talk the thing. And bless up to my director and Bounce Up Central. All subscribe, like it. Like the vibes to it. Let me talk the thing, right? Yeah, there's a love at the end of the day, people, and let us keep Venezuela in our prayer. And remember how easy this thing is to just in the twinkling of an eye. And to Felicia Thomas, twa, twa, twa. Old people say do it in trees. That's for the wickedness that you're doing to public officers who pay their $100 every month and for the retirees who retire paying their $100 for years. And they're just out in the wilderness and nothing. And they're talking about food card and fuel. Girl, after you tell people about 10% promise made, promise kept. You'll always so. Anyway, people I love all I go on, but I don't love wickedness. Give thanks for life.
Na 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 na. Whoa, 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 whoa. Life is so good to me. Life is so good to me. Whoa, whoa, yeah. From your wake up this morning, you're a winner. Yeah, 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 yeah. From your wake up this morning, you're a winner. Yeah, yeah. Watch out, Jaja. Here we love our life now.
Bye.